When allergies stand in the way, Allegra helps you break through.
What's going on, social media socialites? It is the middle of the day. I know, like, Dean, what in the world are you doing? Yes, this is the middle of the day, and I am live. I'm working from the house today. I'm not working from the office, and I normally that's one of the reasons why I normally don't go live during the daytime because when I'm in my office, it's a lot going on. But I'm working from the home office today because the holiday weekend coming up. So couple of things. One, we hit 17,000 subscribers. So let's pause for a moment. If you're watching this for the first time and you don't know who I am, my name is E.DeanCole and I own DeanCole Financial. We are a consulting firm and we specialize in working capital, alternative finance, and business credit development. That's who I am. That's what we do. So if you're watching this for the first time, this is a live coaching session, okay? So this isn't a live lecture. So I'm not going to be teaching on anything specific. This is actually a live coaching session. Now, in DCFI Online, we have an online course that walks you step by step through the process of building business credit that's 100% separate from your personal credit. And we also teach you how to repair and restore your personal credit. In our online course, we have a live coaching session that we do most of the time every Tuesday, but this summer has been a real character building summer to say the least. But we're back on track. And so last night we had issues with the technology. So what I'm doing now is just doing a quick recap. So I don't want to leave my clients lacking. So normally when I do live Q&As, I answer you guys questions or whatnot. And I'm going to answer some questions. I'm going to answer 5 questions at the end of this. But right now, you guys are like a fly on the wall. If you guys have ever gone to college, or if you if you've ever went to go visit a college or whatnot, you can sit in and kind of sit in the back of the class and kind of see what it's like. So this is what our coaching sessions are like. I'm actually going to bring up the private Facebook group and allow you guys to see what it is that we do. Now, every single week, I have every Tuesday, most of the time, I have a post and I say, oh, this is where we're going to do our live Q&A. And then this is stuff that's not seen anywhere on YouTube. It's not seen on YouTube. It's not seen on Instagram. And it's not seen publicly on Facebook. It's only in our private Facebook group. So I'm going to allow you guys to see what that's like. The reason why I'm doing that is because we hit 17,000 subscribers. So if you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Oh, shoot. There we go. Boom. This is live. So forgive me. So make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Right here is the link to make sure you subscribe. And if you're watching this on the replay and you're like, Dean, I wanted to see what it's like with you live. Or I want to participate with you live. A couple of things. Thing number one, you've either seen my video before and you have not subscribed. Or thing number two, you did subscribe, but look, you did not hit that notification bell. So it's very important for you to hit that notification bell. So if you hit that notification bell, you won't miss out, because this is impromptu. I normally don't work from the office. From the house. And I normally do this in the afternoon. So I'm trying to maximize my time as much as possible. So let me see how I sound. If you guys can hear me okay. If you guys can see how I sound.
In the afternoon. So I'm trying to maximize.
All right, it looks pretty good. Okay, we're pretty good. All right, that's good stuff. So right now we have a total of 77 people watching live. Now, because this is not a live lecture, I'm not going to obsess over the analytics like I normally do. I'm just going to get right into it because this is a live coaching session. So the only questions that I'm answering are only the questions that are for the clients that enrolled into the course. So if you're watching this on YouTube and you are watching live, this is great. You get to catch it live. And then also, too, if you want to know what it's like when we do our sessions are a lot more intimate. So let me show you what I mean by that. So let me go ahead and get everything together. So bear with me for one moment, guys. I'm getting everything together so I can show you what I mean by that our sessions are intimate. So even though we have I think right now, let me look at the total and see where we are so I can be 100% transparent, because I believe in transparency. I think that's one of the mistakes. Right now we have 821 people. We have 821 people enrolled into our courses. So even though we have 821 people enrolled into our course, not everyone has questions. And so let me show you what I mean by that. So let me go ahead and get ready to kind of get on over here. So this right here, if you guys can see, is our private Facebook group. Now let me make sure that my sound is still good, because I'm bringing on the screen. So I'm doing some extra stuff. So give me a moment, guys, because this is the issue we had last night. Last night was when I was doing the dry run and I'm trying to pull up the questions, it kept giving me a echo. So let me see if I fix that echo. It was like doing a feedback. So if you guys can hear me okay, I want you to say hear you. Now, if you're watching this on the replay, you can actually see the comments of the people that I'm talking to by looking at the bottom. So let's see. Can you guys hear me okay? Okay, it sounds pretty good.
Now, if you're watching this on the
and
replay,
can you see the screen okay?
Comments of the people that I'm talking to.
Okay, good stuff.
So let's see. Can you guys hear me okay?
Okay, good stuff. Yeah, so we good. We up through that. Okay, good stuff. So long introduction, but we're getting into it. So this is a session. Now, I saw that Brandon asked a question. So Brandon, the rules are this. For all of my clients, they're getting priority. For everyone that's enrolled into DCFI Online, this is the private Facebook group, okay? This is not open to the public, okay? They're getting priority. Once I'm done with them, if I have enough time, then I'm going to answer the questions. I need to say it that way. If I have enough time. And I have to end this at 12. We have a hard stop at 12 o'clock my time, because I have a one-on-one consultation. Matter of fact, I can tell you who's scheduled, and I hope it'll be dope if he's watching. My one-on-one consultation, I have Anthony. It's actually 12:30 my time. That's perfect. Okay, so we should be good, because my one-on-one consultation is 12:30 with Anthony, then Roderick Sharp at 3:30 my time. So we good. We should be good to go. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and knock these out. So let's go ahead and get into it. So, all right, guys. So like I noticed, look. So right now we have 22 people that are requesting to join the private Facebook group. We have 81 people who want to. I'm sorry, we have 22 posts. So my team and I, we actually go through and we approve the post, and then also we have 81 people that want to join the group. So a lot of people that want to join, they have not paid. So this isn't just a free group. This is for clients that are enrolled. Now, there are some people that say, Dean, I just recently paid and I need to be added to the group. If that is you, make sure that your payment information is saved with our office. And we, like I said, you see this, we get notifications. Look at these notifications. We get notifications. Okay. So this is the live Q&A that we did last night. So yesterday at, look at the time, it was yesterday at 8:30 in the morning. This is why I'm sharing this with you guys, because a lot of you guys cannot afford $250 an hour for one-on-one coaching and consulting. That's cool. That's cool. If you can't afford that, that's fine. I don't want to make you uncomfortable with doing this. Watch, we have thousands of videos, and I always do stuff for free. When the Spirit of the Lord leads me to do it, I'm always philanthropic and I'm giving back of my time and my resources. So that being said, a lot of people can't afford to do one-on-one consulting, but they need the help. And so that's why we have our online course. Now, in our online course, every single week, we have these sessions that you guys are about to see right now. I want to share this with you. So every single morning, so yesterday was Tuesday morning. Look, at 8:30 in the morning, I put down right here, guys, we're back. Last night, we worked out all the kinks. I thought we worked out all the kinks, but we were having an issue with the share. Nevertheless, please ask your questions below for guarantee to guarantee. Oh, that's a mistake. To guarantee your questions are asked tonight. And look, the date. So we have our live Q&As that we do. So this is the date. So we only have 26 questions. Okay. That's the reason why I'm sharing this with you. So even though we have 821 people enrolled into the course, not everyone has questions. And when we go live on YouTube, we have thousands of people watching live and a lot of people asking questions. And most of the time I'm in teacher mode. So that's why this isn't a live lecture, because I'm not in teacher mode. I'm in consultant mode right now. Okay. And so you're going to notice the difference. For all of you guys that have watched me before, you're going to notice the difference. So let's do a temperature check. I know I said I wasn't going to obsess over the numbers, but yeah, I'm a CEO in real life. I just don't play one on TV on YouTube. So I'm about to look at these numbers. And also, now that I know that I have a little more time, let me go ahead and interact with you guys a little bit more and not just ignore you. So right now we have a total of 76 people watching live. That's dope for in the middle of the day, for an impromptu just up live. You guys make me feel good about that. So all 76 of you guys hit the thumbs up button right now. So if you're watching me for the first time, I want you to say first time. If you are a client and you're already enrolled into the course, I want you to say client. Secondly, if you are a client enrolled into the course, but you don't have access to the private Facebook group, I want you to say client, need access. 3 words, client, need access. So that way we can go through, look, there's a total of 88 people. That's another reason why we just don't instantly approve people, because a lot of people request to join the group and they haven't paid. They're not paid clients. So we have to look up the person's name, look up their email address. And a lot of times people, like for instance, let me just pick on somebody right now. Prime example, Trucker Juice. Prime example, Trucker Juice on YouTube is Trucker Juice, but we don't know Trucker Juice's real name. Trucker Juice is Trucker underscore Juice on YouTube, and he says he's a client. But on Facebook, most of the time it's their real name. So we have to go through and do some research and find out who that person is. So thank you so very much for your participation. So, all right, good stuff. You can see it. Okay, that's good stuff. You guys are good to go. All right, good stuff. Long introduction. All right, so like for instance, LRT, client need access. So LRT, I need to know what your real name is. And also make sure LRT, you go through and answer those questions so that we can make sure that you have access to this. All right. So let's go ahead and jump into this. All right. Let's get into it. So, oh, you guys don't see what I just did. Okay. I just noticed my screen was off. So let's go back. So right here is what I was saying. Forgive me. So if you guys notice right here, 8:30 in the morning, it says, I did the post at 8:30. It says, guys, we're back. So here we are. We have a total of 26 comments. So the very first person to ask a question is, what in the world? What in the world? Who is this? What? Okay, so this person right here, X, I don't know who this person is. They just updated their information. I don't know. This person right here says, hello, Mr. Dean. Thank you for the course. Should we use our home address and virtual. I says visual, but I know she means virtual. I know it's a young lady because I actually went through these last night when I was doing the test run. So I know it's a young lady. I do remember that much. But she says right here, all right, hello, Mr. Dean. Thank you for the course. Should we use our home address and or virtual office when applying for credit loans? Because the application asks for both. And I'm finished with my site, but I need some more help. Can I get some help for that? Thank you. So yes, if you want to, so you're finished with your site, so you follow the course and you have the free site we provide for you. So we provide clients with free websites. What I mean by that is that for the first year is free. Then after the first year, you have to pay for hosting. It's the same price, just like most of the time, it's actually discounted price on what normal hosting would be for the year. Then also we have a relationship with a domain provider where we give you your domain for 99 cents. Most of the time, a domain might cost like 16 or 18 bucks for the year. You get it for, 16 to 18 bucks period. You get it for 99 cents when you're enrolled through the course. So nevertheless, so that's our first thing. So that's not necessarily a question, but to answer your question, I would need to see your site to see, and when you say you need help me understand what you need by that. And also for all of you clients that are enrolled into the course, let's maximize our time. Instead of just saying that, ask what you need help with. So that's a cool thing about the private Facebook group. When we're on YouTube, it's different, okay? When we're on YouTube, it's a small amount that I can look at and read. But when we're in our private sessions, be as detailed as possible so I can give you a good detailed answer. So to answer the first part of your question is that when you're applying for credit, because of how I teach, the only address that you need to provide is your business address, because this is not a residential. This is not, and also, guys, my phone is going to ring because this is the middle of the day. So be prepared. All right. This is live and it's in the middle of the day. So this isn't a residential loan. You're not shipping anything to your home address. That's a mistake that a lot of people make when they get red flagged. Now, also, I know that this young lady is a new client. She just recently enrolled into the course. Because she is a new client, she recently enrolled in the course, she's going to ask another question that I'm going to read, which is counterproductive, basically. So everything that you learned before you enrolled into my course, you have to relearn it. That's the reason why. Let me come back on the screen real quick. All right, so that's the reason why I want a lot of you guys a lot of clients say, well, Dean, I don't have a business yet. Should I enroll into your course? Yes, because this is startup coaching. A lot of times people make mistakes. And then after they make a mistake, and you're going to see this, and I don't want to pick on anybody, but I'm in consulting and coaching mode. So I got to be honest with you. You understand what I'm saying? So like when I'm trying to lose weight, my coach is going to tell me, okay, he's going to be honest with me. Like, okay, you can't eat no double cheeseburger. You have to eat keto. You got to take the bread off. You dig what I'm saying? I don't want to get off track too much because I don't want to be in teacher mode. I want to be in coaching mode. But nevertheless, what happens is that you're going to notice that a lot of people are talking about the mistakes that they made and fixing the mistakes that they made, which is cool, which is great, which is why you have coaching and consulting, which is why I provide it, because people make mistakes. You know, the number one best-selling book that teaches how to be the best business consultant says that my people perish for lack of knowledge. It's my job to give them that knowledge. So if you are wanting to enroll into the course and you say, well, I don't know what I want to do yet, enroll immediately. Don't do something and mess something up. And then because you're going to have to go and do double the work because you're hustling backwards. If that makes sense and you're watching me and that makes sense, I want you to say makes sense. Okay. If that makes sense and you guys understand where I'm coming from, I want you to say makes sense. All right.
If that makes sense and you're watching.
All right. If that makes sense, I want you to say makes sense. All right. All right. So somebody says, I made that mistake, but your course helps me fix it and get back on track. I fixed it. Absolutely. So SHE, she said that. So her name is actually she. I would assume it's a woman. Yep. She said that. So prime example. And that's the reason why it's okay. You know, you just got to clean up what you messed up and you can stack it the right way. Thank you so much for participating. Jason Soto was the first person to participate. Thank you for participating. Conscious Ether's in the building. Hey, Conscious Ether, I hadn't seen you in a minute, my man. How are you doing? I mean, young lady, how are you doing? I think it's a young lady. I can't remember. Forgive me. Punches Ether was first person. Thomas the Trucker says it makes sense. All right, good stuff. So guys, makes sense. Yes, she says yes. I'm a woman. Okay, good stuff. Conscious Ether. I actually need to make you a moderator. How do I make you a moderator? Add to moderator. Boom. All right, made you a moderator. So Conscious Ether, if you see anything crazy, I want you to go ahead and knock some folks out. Okay, makes sense. All right. So let's get back to it. All right, guys. So let's get back to it. All right. So let's get back to it. And once again, guys, if you have not yet subscribed to the YouTube channel so you can participate live, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. All right. So to answer the first part of your question, yes, you are doing business and you're ordering products for your business. A lot of people are saying, well, you can have your mailing address be separate from your business address. Yes, you can. But you want to know how these people are getting $75,000, $100,000 as a brand new startup business? Because they're following these steps. So these are the steps that you have to do. So that being said, everything needs to go to your business, your virtual office or your business address. And then what you do is have your virtual office or your business address ship it to you. In most cases, all you have to do is pay for the shipping and handling or go to your virtual office and pick it up. Most people live in a state to where their virtual office, they can go pick up their mail. So they can go pick it up. So that is the chain that you need to do. Everything needs to go to your business address. So it's somewhat of a trick question because remember, this is just an application to be approved for credit. Once, if you put down a business address and then you put down a residential address, red flag. They're instantly going to see like, well, what is this? If this is a business, why are we shipping something someplace else? So everything needs to go to your business address. All right. So that's the answer to her first question. Second question was another question. I am unable to access any level of financing except Spark credit card, which I applied for. And I did mention that my LLC is a week old. All right. So her LLC is only a week old, guys. So prime example, she just enrolled into the course. She's applying for additional funding and she has not built her credit. A lot of you guys, let me come back on screen, all right? So a lot of you guys enjoy me as a personality, but I'm not a personality. A lot of people think I'm not a celebrity, I'm not a personality, I'm a real live CEO, all right? I'm a real live business consulting and business coach. People will watch me, and when I do live Q&As, they'll ask weird questions like, how much money do I have saved in the bank? Where am I going to travel? Like, those type of things. And I understand this because, I know that I could be larger than life, but I'm just a regular business consultant. So the reason why I say that is this. When people enroll into my course, they'll enroll into my course and they'll just watch the videos just so that they can have more content to watch. Or they'll enroll into the course and they'll do the live Q&As just so they can have access to me. That has its place. I get that. I get that. At the same time, the purpose for the course is to teach you so that you can go step by step. If you, prime example, Odell Beckham Jr. Nah, let me not use Odell Beckham. Oh, better example, Odell Beckham's cousin. Odell Beckham has a cousin who's ripped and swollen and athletic just like him. He's a personal trainer. If people hire Odell Beckham's Jr.'s cousin to train them, but then they're like starstruck and they come to the gym and they don't do anything, then yeah, you are around the person, but you're not going to get the same six-pack abs as the person who hires him as a trainer and follows what he does. If that makes sense, if that makes sense, I want you guys to say, give me 3 laughy emojis, okay? So if that makes sense, give me 3 laughy emojis. Let me make sure that you guys are with me, okay? So if that makes sense, give me 3 laughy emojis, okay? Give me 3 laughy emojis, guys, if that makes sense. All right, we have 106 people watching live. Let's get 106 thumbs up. She gave me the laughy emoji. She was the first person to give me the laughy emoji. Thank you for participating, She. Thank you so much for that. All right, Jason Soto was number 2. She beat you to the punch, Jason. All right, so that being said, I want to make sure that when you guys are in the course that you follow the course, that you follow the steps. It's more than just watching it and you consuming it. Because I have clients that say, well, Dean, this video isn't up yet. And then I say, okay, well, where are you with this, then the third? Well, I haven't done it yet. That's the reason why we have a 98% approval rating is because we right there with you, okay? And it's easier for us to keep a high approval rating when we had our in-office coaching because we had 20 people at a time and we was right there with them. And every other weekend, we was right there with them. But now that it's online, it's virtual, it's not the same thing. And I'm trying to be accountable for you guys, but at the same time, I want to reiterate: follow the recipe so that you can build the cake. So, nevertheless, also she mentioned that she just started her business a week ago. So when she got that Spark card, she did a personal guarantee. There's nothing wrong with doing a personal guarantee if that's the direction you want to go in. But a lot of times people will go the route of a personal guarantee, get into my course, and they say, well, how do I reverse it? How do I not do a personal guarantee anymore? It's done. Once it's out there, it's out there. You know what I'm saying? You gotta make it happen once it's out there. Okay. That's the reason why I tell people, slow down, enroll into the course, follow the course step by step. So she asked, so basically, once again, she says, I'm unable to access any level of financing except Spark credit card, which I applied for. And I did mention that my LLC is a week old. What can I do next? What can I do next when it comes to opening a business credit union account for profit? Which credit union should we consider first? And do you know any Black credit unions that we can apply for? I'm actually believing God to, and it says it's edited. So let me show the history so I can see her name. No, we can't see it. So she edited what she asked, but it's okay. It's cool. Nevertheless, I'm actually believing God to create a Black-owned credit union, a credit union for Black-owned businesses. That's what I'm actually believing God for. I don't know of any right now. I want to be the president of a Black-owned business and just cruise into my retirement as the president of a Black-owned business and teaching. That's what I would love to do. I'm in the process of doing that. But as of right now, I don't know of any Black-owned credit unions. I do know of some Black-owned banks, but not any Black-owned credit unions. My advice to you is to slow down. You got to slow down. I want you to go through the course and follow the course step by step, because there's no point of you going to a credit union and being denied. Let me tell you the reason why I say that. Look, notice she says, I am unable to access any level of financing, which means that she applied and kept getting denied. So this lets me know that she applied and got denied. And that's okay. My people perish for lack of knowledge. If you know better, you do better. But because you're enrolled into the course and you have access to me and this content, my strong suggestion is I really need for you to make sure that you do follow the steps. All right. So the next question is from Julian. Julian says, what says? I guess it must be greetings. Listen, I mess up with my typing all the time. Okay, it says, Mr. Dean. It says, greetings, Mr. Dean and class. I would like to know what business requirements would I need to meet just to get approved for a CLOC? My LLC is 11 months old. Okay. So Julian, let me go back on screen. All right. So get into teacher mode. So a CLOC. So let's do a temperature check. All right. I got an hour from now. So let me get into teacher mode because I do want to maximize this. I want to give you good quality content. So how many of you guys know what a CLOC is? If you know, I want you to say, I know. If you don't know, I want you to say, don't know. All right. If you know what a CLOC is, I want you to say, I know. If you don't know, I want you to say, don't know. Now, somebody just gave me a super chat. Hopefully that super chat is available at the end. Matter of fact, let me do a screenshot of your super chat so that I can answer your question at the end of this. At the end of this video, but right now I'm not doing traditional live Q&A. This is only available at the end. And I don't want you guys to waste your money. I want you to do it when it's available to me. You dig what I'm saying? Like, super chats are cool, and I don't mean to talk down on anybody, but I'm a CEO in real life. I don't really necessarily need the super chats. The purpose for the super chat is the fact that we have close to a couple hundred people watching live, and I don't want your comment to get lost. All right, so let's see. So Trucker Juice says, I know. Jason says, don't know. All right. Matthew Paul says, don't know. I see most people said they don't know. Okay. Yeah. So Curtis answered the question. Yes, Checking line of credit. So what a CLOC stands for is a checking account line of credit or a checking line of credit, which basically is a line of credit against your checking account. Now, for the traditional lender, in order for you to get a CLOC, which is a checking account line of credit, what it does is it sits like a credit card. You have a line of credit available. You're not charged any interest until you use it. Now, when traditional banks want you to be in business for 12 months, okay? When you are with a credit union, you can actually get a CLOC within the first 3 months of joining that credit union, but you must be incorporated for at least 3 months, and you need to be with that credit union for at least 30 days for you to try to get a CLOC. Now, when a lot of times people say you have to have $10,000 in the bank, you don't have to have $10,000 in the bank. You don't. Ideally, when you keep a balance of $10,000 in the bank, then traditionally speaking, that's the first step of getting a $100,000 line of credit. But that's the first step. That doesn't have to be the case. You can get $10,000. You can get $20,000 without having any money in the bank at all, as long as you are set up the proper way and you have your underwriting guidelines. Okay, so the business requirements. So Julian asked what the business requirements are. The business requirements for you to get a CLOC is that you have to be in business for at least 3 months, which you are because you've been in business for 11 months. You do need to make sure that you have a positive history with them. No charge-offs and no. Man, that's actually my bro. How can I go on mute? This is live, guys. The people reaching out to me all the time. How can I go on mute? Shoot. Give me a second, guys. Let me go back on screen so I don't show anything I ain't supposed to show. Give me a second, guys, because we keep our privacy together. Close all chat tabs. How do I go on mute like I'm not available? How do I go to do not disturb? I apologize, guys. I'm trying to figure this out. Forgive me. I'm trying to figure this out. Like I said, normally I don't go live in the middle of the day, so people aren't reaching out to me in the middle of the day. Okay, boom. Turn off active status. Boom. Boom. Okay. There we go. Back off. Do not disturb. All right. I'm back. So forgive me, guys. And this is live. All right. So we're back. So basically, let me get back to Julian. All right. CLOC, checking account line of credit. What I was mentioning is, typically speaking, be in business for at least 3 months. You can't have any negative days. All right. Any negative charge accounts or bounce checks. Okay. And also one other condition is that you need to at least have a 680 score. Now, the thing about it is that with a lot of these traditional banks and credit unions, a lot of the ones that I teach, especially in the executive coaching, we have a master list of credit unions in the executive coaching. And in the master list, all the credit unions, we show you the ones. What they'll do is they'll look at your score to make sure that you meet the underwriting criteria. However, it will not report on your personal credit. So what it'll do is they'll see if you have a 680 score because that's one of the underwriting criteria. However, it doesn't show up because it's not personally guaranteed. It doesn't show up on your personal credit. God forbid, if anything were to happen to your business and you need to close it down, it will not negatively affect your credit. And what will happen is that it will not affect your debt to income ratio. If you understand that, I want you to say understand, okay? Even if you're watching this on the replay, your success is psychosomatic. I want you to participate with me, make a mind-muscle connection. So I want you to participate as if you are watching me live, okay? So if you understand, I want you to say understand, okay? All right, I want you to understand. I want you to participate with me, okay? If you understand that, I want you to say understand, okay? Okay, Jason was quick on the draw. He said he understand. Good stuff. All right, good stuff. You guys understand. So that's to answer your question, all right, Julian? So you qualify based on you've been in business for at least 11 months. Typically speaking, you're going to get around, for a newer business, you're going to get anywhere from 10 to 15,000. A lot of times you can max out something that's called the 524 rule. I teach that in the executive coaching. In the 524 rule, it allows you to max out your lending potential so you can easily get $25,000 from one credit union. You go to 4 credit unions, that's $100,000. You can do that 4 months into a business and get funding for working capital. And it's 100% legal as long as you meet all the criteria. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. All right. Charles says, what are the requirements for the equipment program? I am looking to get a OTR truck with a sleeper real soon. My LLC is 10 months old. So that's Charles. Okay, Charles, let me go tag you on that post, and I'm going to go over it live. Okay. Ooh, boom, 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 boom. All right, so we have a post right here. All right. All right, so this is what Charles was talking about. What was Charles' last name? I'm going to tag him on this post. Was it Charles, right? Was it Charles, right? Which Charles was it? Let me go back. Give me a moment. We have a couple Charles. Let me just tag both of you guys. Only have 2 Charles in the course. There you go. All right. That's 12,500 business funding. That's one of the new lenders we got. 125,000 for equipment. It's guaranteed approvals. This is one of our lenders. Let me add Charles to it. Boom. All right. So Charles, these are the requirements, and I'm going over it with you guys as well. Okay. So on January the 29th, as you guys can see right here, like I said, this is a back end of the wall. You have access to all of this when you're enrolled into the course. So this is just the bonus stuff. The Facebook stuff is the bonus stuff. When you're enrolled into our course, you get access to videos and stuff that's not even the Facebook. I don't show that for proprietary purposes, but I show this right here. So you have access to our wall and our resources. So on January the 29th, we actually got a new vendor who decided to come on board with us because of our 98% approval rating. Okay, so let me come back on screen for a moment, guys. Like I explained this to you guys one time before. So you hear the phone ring? So that means that they rung the office, they rung here, and then this phone is going to ring too. But somebody's actually picked it up from the office. But nevertheless, guys, like I said, I know you guys see these numbers. 80,000 people on Instagram, 250,000 views on Facebook, 17,000 subscribers on YouTube. We have videos with 50,000. I am a CEO. I want to get to the point to where I'm Damon John. I feel like Damon John is a celebrity. I feel like when I get to that point, but also he's close to a billionaire. So, and Grant Cardone, I get it. Grant Cardone, I consider him a contemporary. Kyle Lopez, Dave Ramsey. Like Dave Ramsey is a celebrity. He had a legit TV show. However, I still am a business consultant. That's the reason why a lot of people get frustrated with me. They was like, Dean, I want you to mentor me to do what you do. I can't do that because that is counterproductive for me because I'm still consulting. Like once I get to that point, like I said, once I slow down and all I'm doing is traveling and teaching and I'm not consulting anymore, then I can train other people to be consultants. But right now that I'm still a consultant in real life. So I said all of that to say that's why I protect our approval rating for these situations like this. As a business consultant, you're only as good as the lenders who you can go to. And this lender, they're attracted to me. People will hunt you down to give you money when you qualify for it. I have banks that are always emailing me, always calling me. Do you need anything? You need any loans? Does any of your clients need anything? The reason why is because they know that they can qualify. Banks get paid commission. As when I was working for the bank, I get paid commission to originate my loan. I get paid to give you money because you know that interest rate. I get paid from the bank from that. Okay. So that being said, people want to give you money. The reason why people are being denied, especially in the African American diaspora, it isn't because we're African American. It's because we don't know how to get the funding. Yes, there was a time where we were marginalized against. And yes, there are some cases where from some of the smaller institutions you can be marginalized against. But I would submit that that's mainly 3%. I believe 97% of the time is because you don't know how to get approved. And if you agree with me, say you agree. If you agree, say I agree. If you don't agree, I want you to say I don't agree. And we can have a whole conversation about it. I actually did a video where I said black people credit and white people credit are the same. And it exploded. So many people exploded and they disagreed with me. And it's because of based on, their self-limiting beliefs, and it's based on what society has taught them, which is the reason why I know I have to eventually stop consulting and go to teaching full time. That's why I say when I'm the president of a credit union and all I'm doing is going around from college to college teaching or arena to arena teaching, or I have my full TV show or I have my full podcast or whatever. So I said all of that to say that's why I protect our approval rating. That's why in my course, you just can't jump into my course and then instantly start applying because I have an originator ID. When you come through me, you're coming through my originator ID. And that's how come I have to wait, before we allow you to get to certain stuff, let's make sure that you don't go and just like the young lady who was like, I can't get approved for nothing. We ain't playing them games, not with this. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. I've been in banking and finance for 2 decades. I work really hard for this reputation. You understand what I'm saying? So that being said, I'm not just going to be like, oh, just because you want it, that's not how it works. That's why the course is designed to walk you step by step. It's not like just throwing it to the wall to see if it stick. All right. Because even though we use social media, and a lot of people, gravitate to me like I am a personality. I'm a CEO in real life. This is my bread and butter, which is why I can't teach you to do what I do right now. There is a conflict of interest. It's non-compete clauses. When you enroll into my course, there is a non-compete clause. Like you're not able to teach. You're not able to do credit repair. You're not able to be a business consultant. Like if you want to be like for instance, T-shirt, the T-shirt help desk, we're collaborating. T-shirt help desk and I are going to do something together because they are consultants specifically on T-shirts. I can deal with that. But if you just want to be a business consultant or you just want to do what I do, then I'm going to create something for that later on, and it's going to cost, and it ain't going to be something monthly. If you want me to teach you how to do what I do, it's going to cost you. Okay. It's going to cost you. And I gladly do it. But at the same time, you understand what I'm saying? Like this is what I do for real, for real. So that being said, this person asked a question about equipment funding. So back in January, we have a new vendor that came on with us. And they give out $125,000 for equipment funding, guaranteed approvals, okay? Guaranteed approvals, $125,000. And these are the requirements to be guaranteed approval. It says, great news executives, today we acquired a new lender that will approve notice the almost, okay, any equipment for business use, i.e. cars. If you want to do Uber or you want to do Lyft and you want to get a fleet of them, you can do that in your business name. Box trucks, dump trucks, salon furniture, barbershop furniture, computers, restaurant equipment, TVs, decks, chairs. Because my house is considered corporate housing, all of my furniture is, even though I got all this expensive furniture, it's all in my business name. We don't play these games. You dig what I'm saying? Everything is in my business name, okay? So all of this, everything that you can normally get for yourself, if you set yourself up the right way, you can get it for your business. Look, from restaurant equipment, TVs, desks, chairs, nearly anything for business use, the requirements are fairly easy, all right? So you can get up to $30,000 for open business. You must be in business for at least 3 months to 12 months for $30,000, okay? 75,000. Business must be open for 12 months to 24 months. 125,000. You must be in business for 24 months and older. Look at this. The minimum FICO for this particular lender, 620. All right. Every lender has something that's called a lender overlay. And I teach this in the startup coaching, which you can enroll into right now. And I talk about a lender overlay. how some lenders, they want a 680. Some lenders, they don't care what your scores are. Some lenders, if you have a 580, this particular lender, their lender overlay is a 620, okay? However, notice this particular lender. It says we can get you a 620 in 60 days. So let's say if you not a 620, you can get a 620 for 60 days. All right, so right here it says no OTR equipment. All right, so this particular client wants OTR equipment. This particular lender can't give them OTR equipment, okay? No real estate transactions, okay? All right, so that means you can't use it to purchase actual property. So if there's a property that's 50,000, you can't use the 125,000 for that, okay? No equipment that's older than 10 years old, all right? So no equipment that's older than 10 years old. So that's this particular lender. So here, for this one, this is a different one, all right? So this is a different lender, all right? This particular lender, this is another lender that we have. This particular lender, this is what Charles actually would need to answer your question. You must be incorporated for at least 5 months or more. This particular lender, you must have at least a 600 FICO, okay? Because they do require you to have a 600 FICO. You have to have a business bank account, and you have to have at least $7,000 a month only for working capital. So that means that if you're wanting to get a working capital loan, then you have to have at least $7,000 a month being deposited into your business account. No income requirement for equipment funding. So this particular lender will be best for Charles. So let me go back to answer your question. Discussion. Let's go answer your question. All right. So to answer your question, boom, where we go? Boom, here we go. Q&A. So Charles. All right. So Charles, right. Okay. So for this, so what are the requirements? Let me see. Your LLC has been in business for 10 months. So now, Charles, we need to know, do you have your business checking account? Or do you have, even though your LLC has been in business for 10 months, do you have your business account and your funds being deposited into your business account? You have to at least have a 600 FICO. And this particular lender, they are going to want you to put at least 5% down. So Charles, if that's where you are, and the equipment, even for the other lender, the one that can get up to 125,000, because you're asking for OTR equipment, it can't be any older than 10 years old, okay? So that is actually the guidelines for the other ones as well, okay, Charles? So that answers your question, okay? All right, so this person again with the interesting name, she says, hello, Dean. Does it look fishy? I guess she meant fishier. So notice too, so if you guys notice, you can get the help that you need. Look, she's asking multiple questions. When you're enrolled into our course and we do our live Q&As, if you have multiple questions, you can get them answered. All right. The only person stopping you from being successful is you. If you position yourself, then you can do it. This was up at 8:30 that morning. Most of the time we do our live Q&As at night. Let me do a temperature check. Okay, I got 30 minutes to finish this out. All right. So hello again. She says, hello, Dean. Does it look fishy? Or I guess she meant to say fishy. If my LLC is in another state and I live in another state for, I guess she meant underwriting purposes. So she meant underwriting purposes, okay? So it doesn't look fishy. You can do business anywhere else. But like I said, I remember, this is somebody that's brand new, okay? She just started her LLC a week ago. Your LLC needs to be the same state that you reside in, unless you're in California or you're somewhere where the fees are too high. And then if that's the case, then you are operating out of that business. So even though where you live, it doesn't matter, because everything is going to be for business purposes. Say, for instance, if you're in California, everything is in, let's say, Wyoming. Your business address is in Wyoming. Your registered agent is in Wyoming. Your virtual office is in Wyoming. And then what will happen is that once you get things delivered and whatnot in Wyoming, then you will have them mailed to your location where you are in California. If you guys understand that, I want you to say, got it. Now, this is for individuals that live in states where the fees are so expensive and so high to have an LLC. If you're in Atlanta, DC, Maryland, North Carolina, Florida, South Carolina, you're in a regular state, I don't suggest that you do that at all. It ain't worth it. In my opinion, it's not worth it. I mean, if you need to have an anonymous LLC and you need more one-on-one, that's not something I can really teach publicly. But if you do a schedule one-on-one in a closed setting, we can break it down for you. If that's something that you really need for purposes of, legal situations or purposes just for anonymity, then that's something we could talk about later. But for the average general person, it's not worth it. If you understand that, I want you to say, got it, okay? If you understand, I want you to say, got it. Okay, thank you for participating. All right, thank you so much for that. All right, you got it, got it, got it, got it, got it. Awesome. Got it, you got it. Okay, good stuff. You got it, good stuff. All right. So, all right. So next question is from Therese. So Therese says, can you refer me to a CPA in Georgia or the Tennessee area that specifically deals with the trucking industry? Unfortunately, Therese, I don't know a CPA that does that. The best person that I could recommend who is what's the young lady name? She was in what's that young lady name? We used to do business together. What's that girl name? What's that girl name? What's that girl name? What's that girl name? Shoot, I'm having a brain freeze. What is that girl's name? Shoot. She's a speaker. She's a coach too. If you look in YTTA, she used to teach in YTTA. I can't remember the girl's name. She wears red glasses. What is that girl's name? She's the only person I would suggest to do that. She's good at what she does. What is that girl's name? Tax lady. What is her name? Oh, shoot. I can't believe it. I'm having a huge brain freeze right now. Y'all know who I'm talking about. So all of my clients that's been rocking with me for a long time. Y'all know who I'm talking about. What's her name? Y'all help me. Yeah, Rose. Yes, Rose. What's her first name? What's Rose's first name? Um, what's that girl's name? Lord have mercy, I'm having a brain freeze. Um, what's Rose's first name? What's her first name? The right TRB is in the building. What's up, TRB, the right brother? TRB, what's Rose's first name? What's her name? I can't remember her name. What's her first name? I can't remember her first name. TRB, we need to catch up real soon, man. What is her name? What's her first name? She specializes in trucking. She's the only person that I could recommend, and the reason why I recommend is because she's great at what she does. And I don't want to go through my emails right now because I got this thing up on my computer and no telling what'll show up because I got to keep people information private. What's her name? What's her first name? But anyway, Goat Rose. I can't remember her first name. Forgive me. It's gonna come to me. You forgot too, TRB? I forgot her first name too, but her last name is Rose. That's the only person I would suggest. And if you go into YTTA, if you go into Facebook and go into YTTA, which stands for the YouTube Truckers Association, and you do a search at the top, you can type in Rose. Matter of fact, you do that. I forgot the girl name, and I hate to do this, so let me go into YTTA affiliates. And you type in Rose. Her name is not Jessica. What's the girl name? Latoya Rose. That's it. It's Latoya Rose. T Rose. Latoya Rose. That's the only person I would suggest. Latoya Rose. That's the only person I would suggest that I feel because she's a beast. She's great at what she does. As far as pricing goes, I don't know. I can't speak to that, but it costs to be the boss. I don't know what she charge or whatnot, but as far as that's the only person I would suggest, and I know she does business all over. That's the only person I would suggest. Therese. All right. So the next question is from Derek Williams. So Derek says, is it possible to switch a vehicle from my personal credit over to your business credit? If so, how? So to answer the question, Derek, yes. You can sell your vehicle. You can sell your vehicle to your business if your business is set up the right way. So, Derek, that's a loaded question. I can give you strategy on how to do so. I would need to know how old is your vehicle. I would also need to know how much you owe on your vehicle. And I will also need to know if your business is sound. So the answer is, can you do it? Yes, you can do it. How to do it, to switch it over, it depends on a few things about your vehicle. But To answer your question, yes. If your business is strong enough and you qualify for tier 3 funding, then yes, you can do it. You can build up to the point of tier 3 funding in 6 months. All right. To answer your question, that's how you do it. So, all right. Darnell says, "Hi, Dean. When applying for business cash credit card, is it best to call in and speak to a live person to do the application, mail it in, or do it online? I find it hard to apply online when they keep asking me for my SSN. Is there a way to get around that? And do you have a list of business credit card companies that you recommend to use without giving that SSN information?" So to answer your question, Darnell, yes, that is in the executive coaching. And I know that you are enrolled into the executive coaching. So go into the executive coaching in that section and you'll be able to see that. So there is a list in the executive coaching. That's first thing. Second thing is, let me come back on the screen. So once again, so you guys can see. All right, remember, even though I might like TRB, the Wright brother, TRB is a celebrity. All right. TRB is a celebrity. TRB, he is a trucker, but he's converted over to being a celebrity. He got close to 50,000 YouTube subscribers. He done been on Discovery Channel. He done been on everything. So TRB is a celebrity, okay? If he wants to get out of his truck, he can get out of his truck and make money on his brand all day long, okay? That's TRB. That's the Wright brother. However, for me, I'm still a business consultant and I still work on commission just like everybody working at the bank. That being said is yes, you have a 75% higher chance of getting approved when you call and you speak with the person because they work on commission. Your chances of getting approved increases when you get towards the end of the month because of a commission cycle. Your commission cycle dictates, what is that? I got an award. Boom. Can you guys see this right here? You see this 171% of quota. Can you guys see that? Can you guys see that? My highest performance when the last consulting company that I worked for. The last consulting company that I worked for, let me see if I can make it so y'all can see this thing. Y'all can read this. Boom. Y'all see that? I hope you guys can see. It might be backwards. If it's backwards, let me turn it this way for the sake of, y'all see this? E.DeanCole, Rookie of the Year, 171% of quota. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? So we have a quota, and when you get paid, you have a quota, okay? And so at the end of the month, you go towards your quota. So you have a higher chance of it being approved when you apply towards the end of the month. And you have to make sure that when you have a credit union, make sure that you build your relationship with that personal banker. They have a quota that they have to hit. And then the higher above quota you hit, the more money you make. That's the reason why I hit 171% is because I talk like this. And then I got to the point to where I made sure my clients, I was like, okay, this is what you need. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. And then it got to the point to where I was almost tiptoeing over to doing something wrong. That's when I said, you know what? Let me just quit and let me just step out on faith and believe God. And that way I'm not violating the bank's terms and conditions by teaching what I teach. Does that make sense? Do you guys understand that? So guess what? When you get denied for a bank, when you get denied for a loan and your banker gives you that denial letter, they know the exact reason why you got denied. They'll tell you the exact reason why you got denied, but they cannot tell you that. If you guys knew that, I want you to say knew that. If you didn't know that, I want you to say didn't know. I want you to participate with me, okay? If you knew that, I want you to say knew that. If you didn't know that, I want you to say did not know. All right. Chanel Flower says, congrats. Oh, that was a long time ago, Chanel. That was a long time ago. I appreciate that. She's talking about some congratulations. That was a long time ago, Chanel. All right, you knew that? Okay, thank you so much for participating. All right, Tabitha says, glad I did. I appreciate you, Tabitha. So Miguel says he knew that. Tabitha says she knew that. Chanel Flower says she knew that. Okay, awesome. I know you guys got to get back to work. We got 118 people watching live in the middle of the day. I appreciate that. And I have 30 minutes to get done because I have a consultation in 30 minutes. So You're very welcome. So you knew that. So that being said, you have a higher chance of being approved to make sure that you build your relationship with people that work on commission. That's the reason how come when I'm dealing with realtors, I only deal with realtors that do real estate full time because they have a vested interest in getting you approved. You want to deal with somebody that has a vested interest in getting you approved. When you're talking to that person over the phone and they ask for your social, you can say, well, I don't feel comfortable giving my social. I just want to use my EIN number and I just want to use my DUNS number. And they can put 6 zeros in. When they put 6 zeros in, if you don't go to automatic approval, it's okay. You're going to go from automatic underwriting to manual underwriting. But that's okay though, because if you follow my steps, you're going to be approved. Even if you go through a manual underwrite, it doesn't mean anything. I was actually about to say something I had no business saying. I'm glad I stopped myself. All right. So that being said, that's the best answer, Darnell. So that's the best way to answer your question. So thing number one, yes, do it over the phone. It's easier for you to do it over the phone. Thing number two, yes, Darnell, in our executive coaching, you have a full list of the business credit card companies. Okay. All right. So Percy McCoy says, respectfully request an LLC quiz. Now, Percy, I am going to do that for you privately. Look, I actually responded to Percy and said, yes, as long as you can catch me live, because I wanted Percy to go over the quiz with me. Now, Percy, let me show you something. Now, because we've done the quizzes together. Now, Percy, if you go up to the top of the Facebook group, right here where you do search, and you type in LLC quiz, right? You type in LLC quiz, Percy, you're going to see the live Q&A. So look, we did a live Q&A on that day. We did a live Q&A on that day for the LLC quiz. We did a live Q&A on that day. So you can go and see when we did our live Q&As. So I'm going to tag you underneath this right here. This is the last. There, guys, you can go back and look at all the Q&As. So Percy, right here, follow this step by step. All right. We do it together as a group. Percy, if you go through and you follow that step by step and you still don't get approval, not approval, if you still don't pass, now make sure you actually physically follow it, Percy. Don't just do what you think you have the answer to, okay? Because I actually go over the questions and we answer it together as a group. Now, I do that normally for the live Q&As, but because I'm running up against the gun for 30 minutes, I don't have time to do that right now. As you can see in that previous Q&A, we do that, okay? All right, Percy. So, all right, so Carrie asked, I've now started a nonprofit organization. Congratulations. Is it possible to get business credit for a nonprofit? Absolutely. So this is the thing. And let me come on the screen for this, all right? So let me do some more teaching. Let's do a temperature check. Now, I have a course that's called the 501c3 coaching. My goal, I had a meeting about it this morning. We have to make sure the 501c3 coaching is up by October, November at the latest. I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that the nonprofit course is up. That course, you're guaranteed $250,000 in the grant, okay? Now, the 501c3 coaching teaches about nonprofits. So I'm going to do everything in my power to try to get that together. However, I want to do a temperature check. How many of you guys right now, if you are watching me right now, because this is going to let me know how much I need to teach on this, because this is for people that are here right now. So if you have a nonprofit, I want you to say have one. If you want a nonprofit, and I mean seriously, I don't mean like you just thinking about it like for instance, with me, I say within the next 48 months, I want to have a credit union. That's considered a long-term goal for me. Short term is 6 to 12 months. So that is towards the longer term. 48 months is a longer term. But then there's some people that say, well, maybe one day when I got $10 million, I want to have a nonprofit. If that's you, don't answer this, okay? But if you're like immediately right now wanting to have a nonprofit, even if you are a pastor or if you are a ministry worker, or if you just, if you want to have a nonprofit, I want you to say want one. If you have a nonprofit, I want you to say have one, because that's going to allow me to know I actually want to do a full video teaching just about getting money for a nonprofit. Okay. All right. Let's do a temperature check. So this is going to let me know. So while we're doing that, we have 113 people watching live. I need all of you guys to hit the I want all of you guys to hit the like button right now. Like it and share this right now. All right, so let's see. All right, so Nelson wants one. Jaquez Reyes wants one. Miguel the Bronx wants one. Chanel says I do. Corey wants one. All right, Chanel want one. All right, so most of you guys, so not a lot out of the 113, only 10 people participated. So I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but I will just say this, okay? You are able, a nonprofit is the same thing as a regular business, okay? For the people that are in ministry, hear me and understand. The church is the business and the building. The ministry is the people and the service. You have to understand the separate between the two. If you are a pastor and you go and you try to, like in Georgia, it's called Georgia Power. If you go and say, well, I'm going to pray and ask God to pay the light bill, and the first comes around, Georgia Power will cut your lights off at your church because it's a business. The church building is a business, whereas the people are the ministry. You have to understand that. A lot of people get uncomfortable, and that's the reason why they fail. And that's the reason why the church is always begging and borrowing money, because they don't build business credit. So to answer your question, Carrie, yes, your business, whether it be a for-profit or a nonprofit, is a business. A for-profit organization is still a business organization. The difference is my goal at the end of the year is to have $100 million in profit. If you are a nonprofit, my goal at the end of the year is to have spent out $100 million in services to people. But it's still a business, okay? As a for-profit business, prime example, one of the best descriptions that I just got at, I researched and I didn't realize that was Amazon keeps like $100 million in their bank account. The reason why is because they're always buying other companies. So at the end of the year, they're a for-profit business. They want to keep $100 million at all times. So you know how we want to keep at least $10,000 as an entrepreneur? They want to keep $100 million at all times because they're a for-profit business. When you are a nonprofit organization, all it means is at the end of the year, you ain't have any money left over. You can have, as an executive director, you can pay yourself up to $200,000 a year, but you still have a nonprofit organization. If you guys knew that, I want you to say knew that. So just because you're a nonprofit, it just means that you pay money out, but you still make money. It just means that you're not sitting in excess. So you're able to make up to $200,000 a year as a nonprofit organization, as an executive director. The only difference between an executive director and a CEO is a CEO is for profit, an executive director is a nonprofit. It's still the exact same thing. But a lot of people have this mealy mouth and they don't know, and they think you have to be broke, and they believe that there is nobility in poverty. There is no nobility in poverty. Whether you are helping the homeless, or you're helping veterans, or you're helping women get out of an abusive home, or you're preaching the gospel, or you preaching from the Quran, or you preaching from the Torah. It doesn't matter, as long as you're still able to be successful and be wealthy and to do those things. If you understand that, I want you to say, got it, okay? I got 15 minutes to try to get through. Oh, Lord have mercy. If you understand this, I want you to say, got it. I got like 15 minutes to get through this. All right. If you guys understand that, you did not know that, Miguel? Absolutely, yes. So Nelson did not know that, yes. So you can have a nonprofit. That's the reason how come people are always talking about, oh, pastors this, pastors that. If they're a pastor and they're doing it the right way, there's nothing wrong. You're supposed to be successful financially. The reason why you guys follow me a lot of times is because I'm successful and I'm flashy. And I understand that. You understand what I'm saying? I teach and I preach all the time. The only difference is I ain't no full-time pastor. Like later on in life, I believe I might be, but I don't know. Who knows? But nevertheless, I say all of that to say to answer your question, yes, that's how you do it. The exact same steps that you do for a for-profit is the exact same steps you're going to do for a nonprofit. The difference between the 501c3 coaching and the startup coaching is that I'm going to show you how to get your 501c3 status to be approved as a nonprofit. And I'm also going to show you how to get your first operating grant. Okay. All right, so Makita Maxey says, Dean, can you explain the steps I need to take to transfer my car into my business name, or would you need to 15-minute consultation for that? Makita, because you're enrolled into the executive coaching, you get free 15-minute consultations. Let's set up a 15-minute consultation for that, because the same thing, like I said to the other person, I need to know how old is the car. I need to know how you're set up. I know that you have over 100,000 in funding yourself, so I know that your business is structured the proper way. I just need to know your equipment. I need to know your vehicle, and I also need to know the details behind that. So that ain't even gonna take 15 minutes. It's probably take a quick 10-minute consultation. All right. So another question by Marquita. He says, "Can you build business credit for different branches?" To answer the question, you can. So the question is, can you build business credit for different branches or departments of your company, or do you just have to open a completely new LLC? My advice to you is to open a completely new LLC. The only reason why I suggest for you to open up branches is if you do it out of state. If you have a branch where you're out of state and that business has in excess of 250,000 in working capital funds with a lending institution. That's the only time I would suggest for you to do it. Other than that, it's easier for you to just start up another LLC and just start and build business credit and go from there. That's my advice on that. Okay. All right. So Marquez Marquez Cooper. Notice I respond to Marquez as well. Last night I was going to go live and I was going to go over the questions live. Okay. But to answer this question, so Marquez says, starter accounts, question mark. Uline put my account on hold, which means that he got red flagged because of lack of payment history with Dun & Bradstreet. All right, that is what they told him, but it's not. He got red flagged. Okay, it's very important for you guys to make sure that you follow the course step by step, because if you don't follow the course step by step, you will be red flagged. Okay, so starter accounts. Uline put my account on hold because of lack of payment history with Dun & Bradstreet. They said I need to make 5 to 7 prepaid payments to be able to be invoiced. Should I do the prepayments for Uline? No. You need a total of 5 payment experiences in order to have an 80 paydex. If Uline has you red flagged, there's something that you did to get red flagged with them. My advice is to go in the startup coaching. I have a list of 15 starter vendors. Use a different starter vendor and get your 5 payment experiences. That's my advice, Marquez. All right. So I actually confused Marquez with Craig. So Craig was the one who I said, if you're live, I was going to go over the quiz, the SEO quiz. He says he keeps getting a 90. I'm going to go over that with you privately. Like I said, I have 10 minutes to finish up so I can do this consultation with this client. I have a one-on-one consultation schedule in like 10 or 15 minutes. All right. So Charla says, Charla Hammond says, can I set up a consultation to sign up for the federal student loan programs? I will pay for your time, no problem. I just need to handle this situation, please. Yes, Charla, what you would need to do is just contact the office and schedule time with Patricia. She handles my schedule. Because you're enrolled into the course, you get your one-on-one consultation at a discounted price. Normally, we charge $250 an hour for one-on-one consultation, but because you're enrolled into the course, it's only $150 an hour for you. And then we can get you into that student loan program. No problem. All right, so Amber says, 1, should I purchase a home before starting my business? Amber, it depends. 2, if a federal student loan is in collections, can you use that 609 for this? So I think, Amber, you're asking a question hypothetically, to be very candid, because if you are asking, should you start your business before you start build your, should you get a house before you start your business, and then you're asking about a student loan. If you have a student loan in collection, a federal student loan, you're not in a position right now to start a business. I mean, to buy a house, to be very 100% honest with you. I could be wrong, but based on my experience, what I see right here, and I'm in consultation mode, so I got to get to you all the way straight. So based on your questioning, I think you want to have a house kind of like how I want to have a credit union. I'm making my steps to have my credit union, but I know that it's going to be a couple of years before I can do that. Okay. But I'm putting in the work right now. So that being said, I think you need to, it depends. There's more questions I need to know, Amber. I would need to know what type of business you want to do, what type of business you want to grow. What's your regular 9 to 5? What's your current credit score? What is on your credit report? These are the type of backup questions I need to answer. Now, normally when I go live, when we hit a milestone, I'll allow you guys to call in. So when I'm live on Instagram, that's the type of time to ask that type of question, because we can have a conversation about it. That way you can get that for free. We can have a conversation about it, and then I can answer your question. Or the next time I do a live call-in show, you can answer your questions, because there's more backup questions I need to know before I can give you exact sound advice on that. Now, the second question, will 609 letters work for federal student loans? No, they will not. They will not work for federal student loans. There's a separate program that we teach, like the young lady right above you asked, there's a separate program for that. So that's the program that you're going to have to go through. All right, Amber, to answer your question. So Jody asked, Jody says, I was in the process of getting ready to buy a house. I had a lot of the money, but I took out a loan because I listened to somebody wrong. Now they say I need to pay it off and then they can process it. Is there any way around that? Now, these are the questions I asked Jody, because remember, I was getting ready to go live yesterday and I was going to answer these questions for her. So I said, why do you listen to them? Why didn't you listen to me? I need to know, 1, what are your 3 scores? I need to know 2, how much do you bring home a month? I need to know 3, do you have a DTI? What's your debt to income ratio? 4, what are all of your debt monthly payments? And this is the response, and I didn't even see the response that Jody answered. Jody says, I was approved. You have a 712. It is just a loan, and it's about, is that $6,000 a month bring home? I think I would just pay it off like they said. I only have $1,200 in bills a month. So Jody, you can actually, if all things being equal, if you bring home $6,000 and you only have $1,200 take home, then that means that your debt to income ratio can handle it. So you might need to go to a different lender, depending on how much the loan is. That's why I needed to know how much the loan was. It might not be worth it. The cash might be more worth it for you just to go to another lender. If you have a 712, that means you can go anywhere. So you might have to go with a different lender. So that particular lender has something that's called a lender overlay. This particular lender overlay is requiring you not to have this new debt. That's what they are asking. That's what they are requiring. Anthony, I'm getting ready to go live. I'm going to give you a call if you're watching live. We're going to do our one-on-one in a moment, Anthony. I'm going to finish this up, and after I finish this up, then I'm going to give you a call, because I know you have an hour schedule, so I have 5 minutes to finish this up. So basically, to answer your question, that's the reason why I would need to know. So typically, you can have up to a 45% back-end ratio, but this particular lender is requiring you to pay it off because that's that particular lender overlay. Sounds like you're getting some prime funding. And there's nothing wrong with prime funding. You might need to look at a different lender where they don't have that lender overlay. You have a 712, which is dope. So if you have that 712, and I need to know what type of, is this new construction? How much are you putting down? So in order to be able to give you that best advice, I would need to know those different questions that I asked, those 4 different questions, and you only gave me one, which was what your score was. But I needed to know what all 3 of the scores were. I need to know how much the loan was, so I can give you detailed answer on that. So guys, that's basically a preview of what we do in our sessions. Now, I normally would keep going live. You guys know I do 2 hours lives all the time. I wanted to share this with you guys because we hit 17,000 subscribers. So if you're watching this and you have not yet subscribed, make sure that you do subscribe to our YouTube channel. So the next time we hit a major milestone, I can share this with you, or better yet, just enroll into the course. When you're enrolled into the course, you have access to all of this information. The next time I do something like this, I'm going to allow you guys to call in, and that way we can have more conversations about this. So guys, thank you so much for watching. The only reason why I'm doing this hard stop like this is because I have a one-on-one consultation that I have to do. Once I'm done with that one-on-one consultation, I'm meeting with him from 12 to 1:30 my time. Clients that are enrolled into the course. Once I'm done with him, I'm going to go back and I'm going to go live only in the private Facebook group. And I'm going to finish answering your questions. Then I have another consultation at 3:30. All right. So the next time I'm going live, you guys won't be able to see it unless you're enrolled into the course. So I can finish answering all of those questions, because this is the live Q&A from last night. And I wanted to kill two birds with one stone. I wanted to share on share on YouTube, as well as I wanted to answer your questions. So I'm going to come back in and finish coaching. So listen, the only person stopping you from being successful is you. If you don't know it, you can learn it. If you have not met them, you can meet them. Like for instance, when you're enrolled into my course, you have access to 821 other like-minded entrepreneurs. People do business together and they cross-pollinate all the time. I want you to get past your self-limiting beliefs. If you say that you can't do it, the only reason why you can't do it is because you keep saying that. If you keep positioning yourself, you will be successful. The only person stopping you from being successful is you. I know it's difficult. I know it's hard. I know it's scary. I know it's frustrating. On my level as a CEO right now, I still go through things right now. I still go through things. But greater is he that is in me. This book right here teaches me greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. And that is your fear. That is your anxiety. That is your bad habits. That is your group of people that's around you that's trying to hold you down. That's your girlfriend that keeps distracting you. That's your boyfriend that keeps distracting you. That is your family member that is spreading their fear on you. Greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. Listen, the only person that's stopping you from being successful is you. Go get them. Success is waiting for you.